Stop. Before you skip this video, check your pocket. Right now, somewhere in America, ordinary people are finding pennies worth more than their car, their rent, even their entire life savings, and they had no idea until it was almost too late. Today, we're revealing 3 pennies that look completely worthless until you know what to look for. 1 mistake on a coin press. 1 missing letter. 1 color that shouldn't exist. That's all it takes to turn 1 cent into a fortune. This is U.S. Coin Archives, and what you're about to see has shocked thousands of collectors, made others rich overnight, and left some viewers running straight to their coin jars before this video even ended. Smash that subscribe button right now, because we expose hidden treasures like this every week. And do not look away, because coin number 3 on this list has a secret so rare, even experts argue about its true value. Coin number 1. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny looks like nothing special. No mint mark, no fanfare, struck in the millions at the Philadelphia Mint in the years just after World War II. Copper was flowing again, factories were humming, and America was minting pocket change by the billions. And yet, hidden somewhere inside that ocean of ordinary coins, a handful of extraordinary survivors are waiting. Coins that collectors dream about. Coins that could turn spare change into a life-changing discovery. Picture it. A small bronze disc, 19 millimeters across, weighing just over 3 grams, composed of 95% copper and a touch of tin and zinc. On one side, Abraham Lincoln's profile, calm and dignified, the work of sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, 2 wheat stalks curving gracefully around the words 1 cent, a design that had quietly defined American currency since 1909. By 1946, the wheat penny was old news, already decades into its run, but that familiarity is exactly why nobody suspects what might be hiding among them. Here's the twist in the story. During the war, pennies had been struck in steel, then in shell-case brass, as copper was rationed for ammunition. By 1946, the mint returned to traditional bronze and production exploded. Philadelphia alone struck hundreds of millions of these coins, no mint mark required, because Philadelphia coins traditionally carried none. So, on paper, this should be one of the most unremarkable coins in American history. But numismatics has a way of rewriting unremarkable into unbelievable, because somewhere in those production runs, dies cracked, planchets misfed, hammers struck off-center, and mistakes slipped through that the mint never caught. A double die, where the design was stamped twice in slightly misaligned passes, creating ghostly duplicate lettering that collectors search for under magnifying glasses for hours. An off-center strike, where the coin was punched outside its collar, leaving a crescent of blank metal and a design pushed dramatically to one side. A clipped planchet where the blank metal disc itself was cut wrong, leaving a coin with a bite taken out of its edge before it was ever struck. Weak strikes, die cracks branching like lightning across Lincoln's face, even rare instances where mint marks expected on certain coins appear to be missing entirely. Every single one of these anomalies transforms an ordinary coin hiding extraordinary value into something collectors are searching for with real desperation. This is where grading becomes everything. Send a coin to PCGS or NGC, the 2 most trusted names in coin certification, and they will examine it under intense light, judge its strike, its luster, its surface preservation, and assign it a number on the Sheldon scale. A coin graded MS65 is gem quality, clean, and lustrous. An MS67 is breathtaking, nearly flawless, the kind of coin that makes seasoned dealers go quiet. An MS70 is theoretically perfect, a coin with literally no detectable imperfection under magnification, a grade so rare for a circulated era cent that finding one feels almost mythical. The higher that number climbs, the more zeros start appearing on the price tag, because rarity in that condition, not the date alone, is what separates pocket change from a serious collector coin. And this is precisely why a 1946 no-mint mark penny, a coin produced by the hundreds of millions, can still shock the world. A common date with an extraordinary error locked in flawless preservation becomes something else entirely. Auction records across the Lincoln Cent series have shown collectors paying staggering sums, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, occasionally climbing into six figures for error coins and superb condition rarities that defy what anyone would expect from just a penny. And speculation runs even further. Talk to passionate collectors long enough, and you'll hear theories about undiscovered specimens, coins still sitting in old jars, drawers, and forgotten collections that, under the right extraordinary circumstances, could rewrite valuation records altogether, reaching figures collectors can barely whisper out loud. That's the haunting part of this story. These coins are not locked away in vaults. They are out there, in coffee cans in attics, in rolls from old banks nobody opened in 70 years, in the bottom of a grandfather's toolbox, hidden treasure hiding in plain sight, inside ordinary pocket change that almost nobody bothers to examine closely. When collectors do find something promising, they don't just guess. They turn to trusted marketplaces and auction houses like Heritage Auction, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections, along with reputable certified coin dealers, places where authentication separates fantasy from fortune, and where a rare collector coin can finally be proven, graded, and valued for what it truly is. So, the next time a 1946 wheat penny passes through your fingers, look closer. Because while this one keeps its secrets a little longer, the next coin in our story will not be nearly so quiet. Next up, coin number 2. Move forward 1 year, and the story barely pauses for breath. 1947, America was rebuilding. Factories that once churned out artillery shells were now back to stamping out coins by the hundreds of millions, and the Philadelphia Mint kept the wheat penny rolling off its presses with the same quiet, mechanical confidence as always. No mint mark, just like the year before, because Philadelphia never stamped one. On the surface, another forgettable date. But forgettable dates are exactly where this hobby hides its biggest surprises. Hold one in your hand, and it feels almost identical to its 1946 cousin, 19 millimeters wide, weighing just over 3 grams, struck in that classic 95% copper alloy blended with tin and zinc, giving it that warm, reddish-brown glow collectors call red when fresh, fading to chocolate brown with age. Lincoln still faces right, dignified and still, sculpted by Victor David Brenner decades earlier. The wheat ears still curve protectively around 1 cent on the reverse, a design so familiar that millions of Americans handled these coins every single day without a second glance. That's the trap. That's exactly why a fortune can slip through unnoticed, because somewhere in 1947's massive production run, the machinery faltered in ways the mint never intended. Dies, used over and over under tremendous pressure, sometimes cracked, leaving raised lines snaking across Lincoln's portrait like fractures in glass. Some coins received double die strikes, where a subtle shift between hub impressions created spectral doubling in the lettering or date, the kind of anomaly that sends collectors reaching for loupes and flashlights at coin shows. Others were struck off-center. The coin's design pushed dramatically toward one edge, while a blank crescent of copper sits untouched on the other, a strange, lopsided beauty that mint error collectors chase relentlessly. Clipped planchets occasionally slipped through too. Coins missing a curved bite of metal from a faulty cutting press, an instantly recognizable flaw that turns an everyday cent into a conversation piece. Add in weak strikes, where worn dies failed to bring out Lincoln's full detail, and you have a year that, despite enormous mintage numbers, conceals genuine rarity inside its high-grade and error population. This is the heartbeat of the hobby. An ordinary coin hiding extraordinary value, waiting in plain sight. To understand why a common 1947 penny might command serious money, you have to understand grading, and that means PCGS and NGC. These third-party services examine a coin's strike sharpness, its original luster, the presence or absence of scratches and marks, and assign a number from 1 to 70 on the Sheldon scale. A coin in the MS-65 range is considered gem mint state, clean and lustrous, the kind of coin a casual collector would be thrilled to own. Push into MS-67, and you're talking about near-perfection surfaces so clean and strike so sharp that very few examples from any given year ever reach that level. And then there's MS-70 mythical flawless grade, a coin frozen in time exactly as it left the dies, with absolutely no imperfection visible even under magnification. For a coin minted by the hundreds of millions, surviving 8 decades in pristine, technically perfect condition is almost unthinkable, and that scarcity is precisely what turns a 1-cent coin into a coin worth serious money. Auction results across the wheat penny series prove this isn't exaggeration. Specimens combining dramatic mint errors with exceptional preservation have crossed the auction block for tens of thousands of dollars, and in extraordinary cases, valuable collector coins from this era have climbed into truly jaw-dropping territory. Passionate collectors speculate that an undiscovered 1947 specimen struck with a major error and somehow preserved in flawless gem condition could one day shatter expectations entirely, reaching figures that sound almost unbelievable, numbers collectors whisper about late at night at coin shows, the kind of valuation that turns rumor into legend. And here's the unsettling truth that keeps this hobby alive. These coins were never treated as precious. They were spent, saved in jars, tossed into drawers, forgotten in old toolboxes and inherited coffee cans. Which means valuable pocket change from 1947 may still be sitting untouched in basements and bankrolled coin wrappers right now, decades after anyone thought to look twice. Collectors are searching, constantly sorting through rolls, scanning flea markets, hunting estate sales, all chasing the same dream. A life-changing discovery hiding inside a coin nobody else bothered to examine. When a promising find surfaces, it doesn't stay a guess for long. It heads to trusted names like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, Great Collections, and respected certified coin dealers, the gatekeepers who separate wishful thinking from documented, graded, verifiable rarity. But as remarkable as 1947 is, it's only a warm-up. Because what comes next in this story involves a date so steeped in mystery, so wrapped in legend, that even seasoned collectors lower their voices when they say its name. Next up, coin number 3. That date is 1950, and this time, the story carries a darker, heavier weight. Pull this coin from an old collection, and you'll notice it immediately, not the warm copper glow of its siblings, but something deeper, almost black, the kind of toning that comes only from decades of oxidation, careful storage, and time itself working quietly on the metal surface. This is a coin that has lived a long, slow life in the dark, and that alone makes it feel different in your hand. Look closer, just beneath the date, and you'll find the small letter that changes everything, D. Denver. Unlike Philadelphia's anonymous output, every coin struck at the Denver Mint carried that mark, a tiny stamp of origin that collectors learn to search for instinctively. This 1950 D. Wheat penny still measures 19 millimeters across, still weighs just over 3 grams, still struck in that familiar bronze alloy of 95% copper blended with tin and zinc. Lincoln still gazes right, dignified, sculpted decades earlier by Victor David Brenner. The wheat stalks still wrap around 1 cent on the reverse. But that black surface, that small d, and the story behind both transform this coin from forgettable pocket change into something collectors are searching for with real intensity. By 1950, America had settled into post-war rhythm, and the Denver Mint was striking pennies by the tens of millions to keep commerce moving. Most of these coins lived ordinary lives, spent, jingled, forgotten. But Denver's dies, like every mint's tools, were imperfect machines operated under relentless pressure, and imperfection is exactly where legends are born. Some 1950, D pennies emerged with doubled die, errors, the date, or lettering struck twice in subtly misaligned passes, creating ghostly duplication visible only under magnification. Others were struck off-center, the design shifted dramatically toward one edge, leaving a crescent of blank, untouched copper, a flaw so visually striking that error collectors actively hunt for it at shows and auctions. Clipped planchets occasionally slipped through too, coins missing a curved bite of metal where the blank was cut incorrectly before striking. Die cracks spread like lightning across some surfaces, weak strikes left others soft and underdetailed, and in rare, almost mythical cases, collectors whisper about coins where the mint mark itself appears strangely faint or oddly placed, fueling decades of speculation and obsessive searching. Every single one of these anomalies turns an ordinary coin hiding extraordinary value into a genuine treasure hunt. This is where grading becomes the difference between curiosity and fortune. PCGS and NGC, the two most trusted certification services in the hobby, examine surface preservation, strike sharpness, and original luster before assigning a number on the Sheldon scale. An MS65 example is gem quality, clean and well struck. Climb to MS67, and you're looking at a coin so well preserved that very few survivors from 1950 ever reach that level. And then there's MS70, the almost unthinkable grade, a coin essentially untouched by time, technically perfect under magnification. For a black-tone circulated specimen like this one, even an exceptionally graded example in lower mint state ranges can command serious attention, because survival in remarkable condition, paired with that unmistakable Denver mint mark, is what separates a coin worth pennies from a coin worth serious money. And the numbers prove it. Across the Wheat Penny series, error coins and elite condition rarities have shattered expectations at auction, climbing into the tens of thousands of dollars, occasionally crossing into six-figure territory for the most extraordinary, perfectly documented specimens. Passionate collectors speculate that an undiscovered 1950 DE, carrying a major mint error and somehow preserved in flawless condition, could one day reach astonishing figures that dwarf anything seen before, numbers so high they sound almost unbelievable, the kind of multi-million-dollar speculation that keeps an entire hobby dreaming. Here's the truth that should make you pause right now. These coins were never treated as treasure. They were spent at corner stores, dropped into jars, rolled into bank wrappers, and buried in drawers for 70-plus years. Which means valuable pocket change from 1950 may still be sitting untouched in an old coffee can, a forgotten collection, or a roll of pennies nobody has opened since the Eisenhower administration. Hidden treasure isn't a metaphor in this hobby. It's a real possibility sitting in someone's basement right now, waiting for someone curious enough to look. When collectors do uncover something promising, they turn to names built on trust, heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, great collections, and reputable certified coin dealers, the only places where speculation becomes verified, documented, life-changing reality. So, before you toss your spare change into a jar and forget about it, take one more look. Check your dates, check your mint marks, check for that strange doubling or that telltale off-center strike. Somewhere out there, a rare collector coin is still waiting to be found, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. If this journey through hidden pennies fascinated you, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and drop a comment telling us which coin shocked you the most. Keep checking your coins, because valuable discoveries are still being made today, and the next one could be yours. Thanks for watching my video.